Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday. We appreciate you listening to Sunny Radio. We've got something that we do every single Friday at this time. What we do is we reach out to someone from the United Way of the Sioux Empire. The Sioux Empire United Way has a lot of different organizations that they touch, that they're a part of, and we love to find out where the funds go that when you're supporting the United Way, who are you supporting? And today we're going to visit with Amy Carter from Children's Inn. Amy, how are you?
I'm great, thank you.
Now, how long have you been with Children's Inn?
I myself have been with Children's Inn a little over 8 years.
And they've been around for quite some time, haven't they?
Yes, Children's Inn has opened its doors in 1977 as a safe shelter for women and children.
And over that amount of time, they've served a lot of people.
Yes, yep, definitely. We average at this point a little over 1,000 women and children coming through our doors seeking safe shelter due to domestic violence or child abuse and neglect. That's on an average year. On an average day, we see about anywhere from 38 to 40 people staying with us.
Now, imagine if Children's Inn was not there. Where would these people turn? It's such a good thing that you are there because these are people that are in need, and you guys are there to fill that need.
Right. Honestly, I think our community would be in a lot of different situation if Children's Inn didn't exist, simply because, there would be an increase in crime, that things would continue to happen in those families, children would continue to suffer, and women would continue to endure that abuse because they maybe didn't have an option. So we're very thankful for United Way and the long time support that they've had of Children's Inn and our programs in order to allow us to continue to be there for those families.
While we're shining the sunny spotlight on Children's Inn, what are some of the things that maybe people don't realize that you guys do?
Well, in addition to our shelter, which is oftentimes what people think of us as, we also do a lot of, we have a crisis intervention program, which means we're available 24 hours a day. We're serving the community with our crisis hotline. We do what's called in-person crisis counseling, crisis daycare, outreach to the emergency rooms when victims of domestic violence are brought into those settings. And last year alone, we served over 2,800 individuals through our crisis intervention services as well. And then with the shelter side of what we do, we have, like I mentioned, over 1,000 women and children stayed with us last year, but we're already seeing an increase of over 8% in this year with those staying with us in shelter. So we know that the need is there. On a daily basis, we're seeing lots of women and kids who unfortunately are going through some tough situations at their homes, and we're here to be that support for them.
Well, we're glad that you're there, and we're also really glad that the Sioux Empire United Way is contributing to the cause as well. And when folks are making their contribution, they can know that this is one of the areas that the funds go to. Are there other things that we need to talk about that maybe we didn't cover? I want to make sure we let everybody know about everything they need to know about Children's Inn.
Sure. The only other thing I would mention is that in addition to Children's Inn through the United Way, another program we have is called the Bright Start Program, which is the home visitation nursing program, and that also is very much supported by the United Way, and that program reaches at-risk, low-income families who are having their first child. We put a nurse into those homes through visitation program, and that nurse provides resources and support and education for families that are really not knowing what to expect when they're having that first child, and maybe have some circumstances that put them at a greater risk for not doing well in the parenting and with their children. And so the nurse home visitor goes into those homes weekly or biweekly up until that child is age 3. So it's really a long-term investment in those families to help them be successful.
Very, very nice.
Only made possible because of United Way, so we're very grateful for that.
Well, Amy, thank you so much for taking some time to visit with us today.
Yes, wonderful. Thank you for learning a little bit more about our program.
And we do this every Friday to kind of shine the light on the different organizations that are under the umbrella of the Sioux Empire United Way. And Children's Inn is the organization we've been talking about today. Amy Carter has been our guest. And this is one of the many places that when you're making that contribution, if you're ever wondering, where does this money go? Well, this is one of the places that it goes. And every Friday at this time, we talk about where the money goes. And one of the other things that we've done just recently is because I've had people say, well, I missed the program. I really wanted to hear that. So now we do this as a podcast as well. So there may be some people listening as a podcast too. If you ever miss it, if you're ever driving along on a Friday and you just catch the tail end of this, and you want to know more, you can go to facebook.com/sunnyradio, and you can listen to the podcast version of each of the episodes as well. But it's just a wonderful thing, and what a great impact the Sioux Empire United Way has on the Sioux Empire. And this is our opportunity to kind of shine the sunny spotlight on that. If you'd like to know more about the Sioux Empire United Way, I'm going to give you a website. It's really simple. It's really easy. SEUW.org. And it's really easy because it stands for Sioux Empire United Way. See how easy that is? SEUW.org. Thanks for listening to Sunny Radio on a Friday.